someone that Sean Combs was clearly comfortable with. He would often sit next to Sean Combs, kind of keep him calm during court proceedings, who now says, for reasons really unknown, that he can no longer represent Sean Combs.
I mean, come on now. That's more than 2 months away. Jury ain't been selected yet. You trying to tell me nobody that's on the jury will have heard that a lawyer backed out of the case? I don't know about y'all. That's not a good look.
Things are going from bad to worse for music mogul Sean "Diddy" Combs. His legal troubles aren't just piling up, they're spinning completely out of control. In the latest twist, Diddy's own high-profile defense attorney has suddenly walked away from his case. And this wasn't just any lawyer, this was a legal heavyweight known for defending some of the most controversial and powerful people in the world. He even represented one of Osama bin Laden's close associates. For someone like that to drop Diddy is a major red flag. This move is more than just a legal change, it sends a strong message. When someone who has stood by accused terrorists says, "Nope, this is too much, you know something serious is going on," lawyers like him don't back out easily. They're paid huge amounts of money to defend the most difficult clients. So if he's walking away, something behind the scenes must be very alarming. We don't know exactly what happened, but this kind of departure usually means one of 3 things: either Diddy isn't paying his legal fees, new evidence has emerged that changes everything, or things behind closed doors are falling apart fast. Whatever the reason, it's not a good sign. It weakens Diddy's legal defense, and more importantly, it makes the public think he must be hiding something. Even sports commentator Stephen A. Smith commented on the situation, saying what many people are already thinking: this isn't just a celebrity legal case anymore, this is the total collapse of Diddy's reputation happening right in front of us. The media coverage is damaging, and public opinion is turning fast. People are already judging him before any official court decision. And what's worse, Diddy's defense strategy is not helping at all. Instead of focusing on facts, his legal team has tried to spin the story by saying he's the victim of racism and that one of his accusers, singer Cassie, somehow invited the situation. That kind of defense doesn't just fall flat, it actually makes things worse. Legal experts are calling his strategy tone-deaf and out of touch. The public doesn't buy it, and neither will a jury. In fact, every time his team pushes these claims, they make Diddy look even guiltier in the eyes of the public. But it doesn't stop there. Former President Donald Trump recently dropped a bombshell, saying he might release the names from Jeffrey Epstein's secret client list. If Diddy's name appears on that list, it could destroy what's left of his career, no trial needed. Once those names come out, the backlash will be swift and brutal. There will be no saving face. The media, the public, and everyone on social media will jump on it. There will be no public relations team strong enough to contain that kind of damage. And now, there's talk of something even more shocking. Kash Patel, a former official from Trump's Department of Defense, claimed there may be a Diddy list similar to the Epstein list. If this so-called Diddy list is real and gets released, it could cause chaos in Hollywood and beyond. Who's on it? What's it about? Why is it still hidden? These are the questions people are asking, and they're only adding more fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, Diddy's remaining legal team is scrambling. They're now demanding that the names of witnesses and victims be revealed, something that most legal professionals believe is a scare tactic. They say it's meant to pressure and intimidate people who might testify against him. It's not about preparing for trial, it's about silencing people. Prosecutors aren't falling for it. They're pushing back hard. The court even denied Diddy's request to expose witness identities, and their rejection was sharp and to the point. This isn't a minor legal disagreement, this is about protecting people who are terrified. According to sources close to the case, some of the alleged victims were so afraid that they could barely sleep when they found out Diddy might get bail. Imagine being one of those people. You're scared of a man with power, money, and deep connections in the entertainment world. And now there's a chance your name and personal information might become public? That's a terrifying thought, and it's why prosecutors are fighting to protect these identities. But in the middle of all this fear, something unexpected is happening. Some people are starting to speak up. Witnesses who were silent for years are finding the courage to come forward. They're tired of being afraid. They're tired of keeping secrets. And now, insiders from the music industry, people who were in the room when things happened, are finally telling the truth. These insiders are saying things that could shake the industry. Some claim that women were regularly flown in to attend Diddy's studio sessions, not to work on music, but for darker reasons. Allegedly, these sessions were more about private encounters than actual business. If these stories are true, Diddy could be facing a storm of new lawsuits and even more criminal investigations. And just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, they did. Diddy has now been hit with another round of lawsuits. These new legal battles only add to the growing mountain of trouble he's facing. The allegations are serious and disturbing, and they're not going away anytime soon. At this point, Diddy's empire is crumbling. His public image has taken hit after hit. He's lost key members of his legal team, he's facing accusations from multiple directions, and the people closest to him are starting to turn away. If even half of these claims turn out to be true, his career, reputation, and legacy are over. There's still a long legal road ahead, and Diddy is innocent until proven guilty. But the damage has already been done in the court of public opinion. The walls are closing in, and unless he can pull off a legal miracle, things are looking very bleak. Things have taken a very dark turn for Sean "Diddy" Combs. On Monday, at least 6 new lawsuits were filed against him in federal court in Manhattan. These are just the latest in a long list of legal troubles surrounding the music mogul. The number of claims against him is growing fast, and it's becoming harder and harder for people to look the other way. Diddy continues to deny all the accusations, but the sheer amount of lawsuits is beginning to raise eyebrows, even among his biggest supporters. Many people who once stood by him are now questioning what's really going on. According to court documents, the new lawsuits describe disturbing behavior. Several women say Diddy used promises of fame, money, and glamorous lifestyles to pull them into his circle. He allegedly invited them to luxurious parties and exclusive events, making them feel like they were stepping into a dream. But once they arrived, things reportedly turned into a nightmare. Some of the women claim they were physically assaulted. Others say they were threatened and told that if they spoke up, they would vanish. These stories describe not just manipulation but violence and fear. The pattern in the lawsuits shows that this wasn't just 1 or 2 isolated incidents, it paints a picture of long-term abuse and intimidation. Behind the scenes, Diddy's remaining legal team is under enormous pressure. They're in full crisis mode, trying to do damage control. One of their biggest concerns is a growing amount of video evidence, which appears to support the claims against him. The team is working hard to stop that footage from spreading, but it may already be too late. The legal battle is no longer just about protecting Diddy's name, it's about saving what's left of his reputation. His image as a powerful, untouchable figure in the music industry is falling apart. With every passing day, more people are coming forward, and the pressure on his defense is growing. One of the strangest and most unsettling parts of the investigation is a discovery made during a Homeland Security raid at one of Diddy's homes. Agents found large amounts of baby oil, and while that might sound innocent on the surface, officials are now questioning why it was there. The possible reasons are disturbing, and investigators are not ignoring it. Then came another major shock. Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, has come forward with bold new claims. Deal is suggesting that Diddy might have had some connection to the tragic death of the notorious B.I.G., one of the biggest losses in hip-hop history. This isn't a rumor from a tabloid. It's coming from someone who was once very close to Diddy and says he saw troubling things firsthand. While the case about Biggie's death might seem unrelated to the current lawsuits, legal experts say everything could be connected. If these different pieces start fitting together, Diddy could find himself in an even deeper legal hole. His former lawyer, Rico, seems to have realized the storm that's coming. He stepped away from the case recently, and many believe it's because he didn't want to be part of what's turning into a legal disaster. When even top attorneys don't want to stick around, that's a strong sign that things are going downhill fast. The music empire that Diddy built over decades is slowly falling apart. And perhaps the most significant shift is that people who once stayed quiet are now speaking up. The fear that silenced many for years is breaking. More and more voices are coming forward with their own stories. This is no longer just a legal fight, it's a reckoning.